That little bitch, you can fuck with me if you wanted to. These expensive.
Matthew Mitcham reveals what today's yes vote on same-sex marriage means to him. For something that was changed with little more than a flick of the wrist by John Howard in 2004, this sure has been a long, expensive, and extremely divisive process. I'm not even going to pretend for a second that I'm impartial on this issue. I'm gayer than Christmas, and proudly so. I have to be, because the alternative is shame. My sexuality is not a choice, because believe me, I tried to not be gay. Matthew Mitcham tried to not be gay growing up in the 90s, and is thankful today's youth don't have to experience what he did. I grew up in the 90s when being gay was even more difficult. My idol, international Olympic superstar Greg Louganis, lost all his endorsements after coming out. English football star Justin Fashanu, the first black player to get a £1 million transfer fee, failed to get any full-time contracts after he came out, committing suicide a few short years later. Gay hate crimes and murders made the papers throughout my childhood. Nobody ever said it to me explicitly, but as a child I was passively collecting evidence that being gay was hazardous to my health, wealth and happiness. And my life. I really did try to not be gay. I kept a rubber band around my wrist and snapped it sharply whenever I had a gay thought. Like DIY aversion therapy, for dummies. Which obviously didn't work, it just turned out to be a futile exercise in inflicting pain and shame. Comedian and advocate for same-sex marriage Magdis Zubanski celebrated today. I'm so grateful that today's youth don't have to grow up in that world. And I'm so grateful for all the people who fought for me to grow up in a world without fear of being criminalized. That's why I fought for marriage equality. For those who are worried about the impact that same-sex marriage will have on children, that it will let kids know it's okay to be gay, or that it might even teach kids to be gay, you can't teach this stuff. Society was teaching me to be straight by how it treated gay people 25 years ago, and I'm still super gay. Which means the reverse is also true. No one can't teach you how to be gay or straight, you just are. We have no interest in recruiting people who don't want to be recruited because we understand the value of being true to ourselves. What our community does do very well is accept those who want to be part of our wonderfully eclectic community, including allies. And as far as religious freedom is concerned, I'm pretty sure God, Allah and all the others are united on this one: love thy neighbor. I'm not religious myself, I'm just a person who likes people. If someone asked me to bake a cake that said Islam is amazy balls or Baptists do it better, I'd be delighted to, and would not feel any imposition on my right to be non-religious. No one is going to ask you to bake a cake that says Christians suck and God can eat my poo. Scenes of jubilation. People just want cake to celebrate happy occasions. Or commiserate sad occasions. Or because they're bored. We don't want to legislate discrimination. It sets a dangerous precedent that no one is immune from. For 38% of the country, things didn't go their way today. They probably have a lot of fear, and that's okay. I do sincerely hope they come around, not to being gay, obviously, and that's our thing, but to being accepting of our love. What we can all do in the meantime is try to be better versions of ourselves by treating others with respect and kindness, regardless of race, religion, gender or sexuality, and that's the real moral issue here.